it do? What it do? It's the Melanin Playbook. We got Eyes, we got Herc, and we have the gorgeous goddess B in the building. So today, we about to run down some real stuff about how we interact with each other on a, trying to get a little intimate level. When you're trying to build with somebody, is it based off of sex, or do you have any type of human decency when you coming to get to know somebody? Like, how y'all playing it?
Well, since B is the guest on the show, why don't we let her take it off first?
Hey, come on. How you playing it, B?
What it do, what it do. So I give everybody human decency until they let me know they're not human.
Okay.
And then fuck that decency. I curse, right? We cool. 'Cause
I
I can
like
make it PG.
I like that. You cool. Keep going. We good. We already told them this season was gonna be raw and uncut, so it is what it
Okay.
is. So you guys, like I say, we started off episode 1 picking up on B's point about bullshit and talking about not only other people's bullshit, but the bullshit that we bring to the table. And of course,
Okay.
we've built from that. Going down to the ripple effect, evaluating your circle. So now you're evaluating bringing people inside of the circle, including relationship wise. So B got a point. I treat you how you treat me.
Okay.
No, that's big fact. And I think for me, I'm the youngest of like six.
Mm.
So I'm definitely really big on I'm gonna treat you how I want to be treated. And I'm a real giving, reciprocal type of person. So I'm gonna give you, I want to receive, we all that good stuff. But it's really hard getting into the dating game. I'm really thankful for my partner, love my life. Haven't been in love for a long time. I'm talking 10 plus years. This
Mm-hmm.
nigga came and swooped me out of nowhere. But to what Cassie was saying earlier
Woo!
before we started,
Okay.
listen, they come out the left field because they be on some low vibrational, like I'm bored, I just want to talk. And sex is
Mhm.
their relation.
Yeah. It's
Nah.
it's sad though. Like, you leading with that. In my head, when somebody leading with sex in the first two messages or first interaction, I'm thinking you a prostitute. I'm just keeping it all the way funky with you. Because
You gonna pay?
Right,
right,
right.
I'm thinking you selling it. So
And
I
let's
didn't
not
know
skip
that.
that because we live in a day and age of the unwanted sex pics. So I
Man.
mean, they come
Yeah,
through
listen.
in everybody's box, even mine, and it's just like, oh my god, like you know what? If you'll give it to me this easy, you'll give it to
Okay.
whoever.
You
And it's
not screening.
right, you're not screening, and it's hard to respect somebody that
Mm-hmm.
just puts it out like that. Like it's like, like where do you learn it? Like I, you know what? It takes you back to the '90s when it was about real vibe. You know, like sex came later in the game. It was not the
Mm-hmm.
first
Nah,
thing.
you had OPP. Don't play.
Right, right.
Don't play.
I'm
You
just
had
saying.
OPP.
I'm just saying.
Listen,
Like,
and in the side chick, side nigga, like whole vibe, people are okay with that. And it doesn't matter if they're breaking up happy homes, regular relationship, people are okay with that because genuine connectivity is not happening anymore. Like people don't know each other anymore. They just
They
know their
don't.
social media.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
Yeah.
right because we hide behind social media. That's who we pretend to be, and that's our what they say avatar. So
Okay.
it's like that's our avatar. That's who we want to be, who we are trying to pretend we are, and it's like no, that's not us. That's not who we are in this moment because it how like we said, respect is it based on sex and human decency, and it's like when it comes down to it, why can't me vibing with you, getting to know you, having that just human decency of respect to give you, to allow us to get on a higher plane and level with each other, like you did, be in a relationship
Yeah.
where you find love versus you just gonna send me a sex pic and think that that's your calling card. That's like we not selling cars here. You know what I mean? Like I don't want your business card right off the bat because sometimes the business ain't even about the business. You want to be honest, but
No. Especially if they come off top.
Right.
And
Because
so vital.
if your Ethernet cable won't reach the router, like you might want to keep that to yourself.
Hold up, we gonna play the small packages because they be hitting on a different level. Because you might have the whole router, but you can't connect. Like you have no motion in the
Okay.
ocean. But it's like so. Cass, the reason why I was asking like where you meet bull at is because like Facebook dating, Tinder, Hinge, like that's hookup. Like knock knock, we gonna talk a few. I'm gonna see if you cool. Let's link. It's no real like unless you're really looking for a relationship and like sex and respect. I think that, and this might be me being biased, but I don't think a lot of men respect females or respect like their romantic partners that they
I'm
don't see longevity in.
gonna go against that. I'm gonna go against
And
that.
that's the
I'm gonna go
thing,
No,
against
nah,
that.
no,
because
you
that's
hear my
real
last part.
though.
I said they don't see longevity in.
Yeah.
That's
If they don't
real.
see like that future, if they don't see you past like, hey, I'm trying to hit the skins, we might can kick it, talk shit, go out, get drinks, but you not my person.
But you know what? We in a day and age that's the same on both sides of the playing field. Like it's not just on one. It's like that happens on both sides. Like we either screwing and you paying my bills. I ain't trying to hook up with you. Like it's on both sides of the field. That type of respect going on. I think the issue today is we don't respect sex the way we did back in the day. Like we knew that there was things that came with sex. We knew of STDs, pregnancy, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We feared, sex to the point where we respected it to have it with an individual we trusted. We don't do that anymore. We
Yeah,
are
because
so
back
openly out
then,
there and trusting with sex. It's like, boom, let's just do it.
yeah, because back then it was actually like they portrayed sex as making love. So it was always something more in depth than just the surface. I'm trying to get my rocks off. Like
Hmm.
it became, just as like a extracurricular activity when people got to the point where they don't really feel like giving they all anymore. And it's like people don't really want to get to know you because either somebody has made it easy. I don't know which side. I don't know if it's the
Hmm.
females or the males that made it easy for people to just be like, all right, well, I can give you my body, but my heart, like,
You'll
you're
never
not
touch
gonna
that
get
with a
that.
10-foot pole.
Right.
Okay. But you can get
That ain't
somebody's
on the
body. Like
table.
it's
But the thing
nothing to get
about
their
it
body.
is your feelings don't exist when your body gone.
Okay.
It's like so in the midst of it, it's kind of like, I think the reason they portrayed it like that back in the day and allowed us to respect it was because they knew that when the physical get involved, the heart, the emotions, it goes all over the place. When that's
Okay.
so they taught you that you're supposed to have the emotional connection and things together first before you bring the physical in, because sex is, it can either be a fun event, it could be a pastime event, or it can be a beautiful thing, or it can be a horrible thing. Like it's made up of so many different like entities. It's like, so you can't just sit here and say, hey, I'm gonna just openly give you my body, because you giving yourself a piece of yourself out, and you're to me, you lose respect every time you just willfully give it to anybody.
And you do.
That's true, you
But
do. I mean, I think it's a coping mechanism now.
Hmm.
Like it's like a drug almost. Like
Yeah.
oh, for real,
you growing up, we only hear about like sex addicts and shit like that. But nowadays, like that is like
nymphos.
I'm
That's the
not
word
feeling
you're
too
looking for.
Hmm.
well. That's their self worth. That's a lot of different things that come into play. But I mean,
And it is
it all
coping.
depends on where you are mentally. Like, and not saying it's
True.
a bad thing or a good thing or in between. It's really, situational, just like human decency. Like it's situational. Like I said when we started, I'm I'm gonna start with human decency until I figure out you're not a human. Like you trying to treat me like an animal. Let's get into the kingdom. We cool. We here
Okay.
because I'm not for your shit. And it depends where they are in their headspace. If they're not, serious, they're trying to hook up or they're trying to play the field. Like I think people forget that nobody's like truly single. It's a
Hmm.
rare bird. Like it's a really rare bird when you meet somebody and like they don't have any options. Like they're literally just
Okay.
focused on you. And that's when like you get something really deep and in depth and like lasting. Like
Yeah.
I can say like in a long time when I met Darren, I'm like, yo, I had no bench. I was
Right.
chilling. I was like, yeah, they were cool. And we met on Hinge. We met on a dating site, but I was just like, I'm a focus. We talked for a good long while before I was like, hey, let's go get drinks. And then we
Mhm.
dated. Like he had the intention, like, hey, I'm gonna date her. And I had the intention, like, let me see what he about. And
Right.
we here. But
Right.
that doesn't happen until somebody makes a conscious effort and you gotta really go against like your behaviors
But you
Yeah.
got
when
that's
you
when you
want
also
something.
respect self. Like that's when you have that self respect enough that I'm like we say human decency. That moment to understand that I'm messing with another human and my image can be portrayed as something that I want it to be. So let me show respect to not only myself but that individual in the way that I handle this situation. Because it can I could have found Mr. Right or Miss Right and I blew it off because I was just looking for sex.
True.
So, a lot of people
Yeah.
like, I can't find this person. I can't find it. And now why can't I find? And I'm like, no, you just screwed them. That's why you can't find them. Like you know, sometimes it's like playing the stock market. Like if you go in, you get what you want, you hit that on that stock and you ready to pull out and go about your business. Like that's just how it is for some people. And some people they like, I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna invest and I'm gonna watch it grow. And I will take it off the market at the right time.
Yeah.
It's just
Sure.
it's all about the play of it. But I'm a big question axe on here, so you already know, eyes that questions are coming.
Hmm.
So first of all, like we talked over here before, we are big Insecure fans. So, B, have you watched Insecure?
Yeah.
Okay, so sex and human decency, which is a good thing because if we remember, in the show season 2, when Lawrence broke up with Issa, how he was like screwing everybody, like everybody,
Yes.
like even throughout the show, every time he was in a dark place, he was screwing everybody.
Hmm.
um
Hmm.
I think, like, what did you think that said about his character as a person?
He was lost and he was literally trying to find comfort, trying to find a reason why, he wasn't this ain't shit dude that was letting his girlfriend take care of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was literally trying to find these people that had like minuscule things. And I think that goes into the place where men cheat or women cheat when they're in like a really comfortable situation. They
Mhm.
might not be paying no bills. They know this person got them and they go out and cheat. And you're like, why the fuck would you do that? Why would you come over here and fuck with me? I'm not going to give you half or even an inch of what they're
Okay.
willing to go for a mouth for you. And you about to fuck this up.
AKA Tasha, the bank chick. But go ahead.
Boom, aka Tasha. Yeah, I knew you was gonna read into that because it's like, boo, you've seen this man account.
Right.
You,
You
he
seen
can't
all
take
of
you
it.
on no date. He can't
But
do none of that for you.
but what's funny? So like you were saying, how we use sex as a coping mechanism, which is true. And I think
Mhm.
it's like, because if you think about it, and this is just being real and honest, when COVID happened, lockdown went in, OnlyFans took off, like off, like unhinged teachers. They done found teachers, workers, government workers, everything got an OnlyFans page. They on there, and it's like, are y'all on there making money? Or are you looking for something else? you know.
No, they
But
they was definitely in it for the money.
they was in it for the money, and the thing about it though, like I think it, because to me personally, it takes a lot. It would take a lot for me to revert to that, just because. And I'm not saying that anybody is disrespecting themselves by doing it, but for me, it's a respect thing. I just care about my image enough that I couldn't just hop on there and just be like, boom, here go Mr. B. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. But it's kind of like, I think we live in a day and age like it was with Lawrence, where if we go through a relationship and it's bad, we don't try to fix it until we just be like, I'm just gonna start fucking everybody.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, but then when does that mentality stop? Like when is your stop point? When is it like, okay, I done got enough. Now it's time for me to go back to being, the legit person, the respectable individual, and be like, let me do me.
When you
Because
old and about 80 years old now, you want to sit down? No.
Right, because it's just like, and I'm not saying like the, but it's just like every sex crazed female wants to enjoy that sex craziness until she's called a hoe.
Okay.
Or
Not
every
necessarily.
guy.
If
No,
you accept your hoe,
no, I'm saying now. Look, if you accept your hoe, by all means, good, because we wouldn't have great porn stars up if we didn't accept our hoes.
no.
They would not
Everybody
be in
has a
strip
whole
club.
phase.
Oh no,
Yeah.
And I
everybody
don't
has
want
a
to
whole
go
phase.
too deep on like where
Yeah.
you
Oh
get it. Like most people don't have a
no,
healthy
let's go
like I'm
deep
just gonna
on
say
it.
for the black community. All right, well for the black community, we don't have a healthy idea or conversation around sex
No.
because for one, black women, and I can only speak from my perspective, and you can chime in as a black man, because as a black woman, I was 12 looking like I was 18. And I
Mhm.
was told I was fast, I was this, I was that, trying to be cute, not really understanding that attention wasn't the attention that I needed.
Yeah.
And instead of, having that conversation and building upon that, we get from our mothers, it's a
Then
jealousy factor. And it'll you never really know like it's jealousy until you're like 20s, 30s, but it's more like the older woman watching the younger youth being around them instead of protecting them and hey, understanding you're golden. Not every man wants to fuck you because I swear to God, my mom would be like, "Oh, they just want to have sex. They just this and this that." Not telling me what to expect out of a man or relationship, or telling me what I should want outside of pay your bills. They should be spending money and different stuff
but
like
they
that.
didn't.
But like they
because
didn't. They didn't at
because
all.
we didn't have like, so we gotta think about it. They didn't touch bases on a lot of things we need in ourselves, because it's just like we didn't have financial conversations. We didn't have a lot of things in our house.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing when it came to sex in the Melanin home was, they made it come off negative, that it was happening, that you were building up, this part of you that they should have been teaching in that moment, that is precious to you, so you would know how sacred it is, so that you wouldn't do it with everyone. But that's not how they did the teaching methods. I can recall myself being a young boy and my mom, oh, he found himself, because I figured out, what an erection was. And it's like, okay, it was bound to happen. It wasn't like I was going to be, I would hope it would have happened. Like, I didn't want to
And
be
see, that's not the
what,
same type
15
of
years old
energy.
and don't know what it is. And it's like when you do it, oh, he found himself, this and that. And then they make it where masturbation or self pleasure is something wrong within the black home. And is like, I would rather you find yourself sexually within the realms of yourself, versus to go out in the world and have somebody show you or teach you what it is and it's wrong.
And see, that's not the same type of energy that is displayed on the female side. Like
Yeah.
it's totally different. Women are, well, me coming up as a black woman, I was pretty much, it was the you sit on a boy's lap, you getting pregnant type stuff. So
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
yeah, like it's bad. And like a girl doing that, you talking about masturbation, it's cool. Boy be out here, he done had sex early, 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's cool. But let a girl do that, it's a whole nother conversation. Now she just used and just nasty or whatever, because she shouldn't have been doing that. So it's like we have to change the way we present, because we don't have conversations about sex, for one.
Do
Yeah.
Like,
you think,
don't talk about it at all.
I have a question on that. So do you think that they don't frown up, and this is just us because this is, within the community. Do you think that the reason that they don't care when, I ain't gonna say don't care, but it's not as hard on this when a boy do it, because they're more concerned about his sexuality than they are with him having sex?
Absolutely. That question is an answer in itself because that's the truth. Because they want to ensure because the homophobia that runs rampant in the melanin community, it's never about the female.
It's
It's
not.
always about the male. So you having sex at like she said 10 years old, like not knowing, not even knowing
Right.
yourself. Your personality, your mind is not developed, but you're out here having sex. You're celebrated. Like I
Hmm.
hate to bring Boosie in it, but his
Okay.
son was like 13 or something like that,
Yeah.
Hmm.
strippers and everybody like everybody, vocally was displeased with it, but it was a
But
lot of people that saw it was just like, yeah, that's cool. That happened to me. I'm cool with that.
right. And I think it's because like so there's already like and we just gonna I love putting it out. We just gonna put it out. So that's already when it comes to respect with sex and human decency. I feel like one sex should be that individual's like private situation. It shouldn't be a big topic for anybody. So it should be respect and it deserves the respect you would give any human. But
Mhm.
I think when it comes to sexuality, we're so concerned that it's like the pandemic COVID, like it's gonna spread. And it's like, no, it's not that type of situation. It's not where somebody touch you and you're gay, you got the gay on him. Like it's not that. It's the attraction. This is something internal. This is something that don't just, come out and it's shown to you and you like, oh, that's me. It's like, no, it's not that. So I think the reason in our community that is so frowned upon when it comes to men, especially black men, is due to the fact that we go back into slavery as buck breaking, and
I was
that was
gonna
something
say
that was
that.
put in front of us as a community, and we saw it break down our men right in front of us. So now we think that type of sex is the reason that the black men was completely dismantled, and it's like no, like it's a lot of other things and other key factors is the reason behind that. But
But let me take you like 10 steps forward. It's
yeah,
because they never healed from that trauma.
no,
Like
but we
it's
never hear from
literally
anything.
like, no, no, no. Like none of it. None of it was healed, but none of it was talked about. And then that
Nope.
like snowballed into the rampant molestation problem
Yeah.
that's the family secret. And it snowballed
Mhm.
because it's like if you ever have a chance to sit and talk with your elders, it's some things that you will never know. And that
Okay.
is right there, the silent barrier. Because we don't know, there's no way for us to heal. And I don't think, and not to sound pessimistic, but we'll never get forward to have like even all these conversations that we're having, even the rampant, hey, we can accept people how they are. You have this mentality in the melanin community when it comes to our men that they're supposed to be masculine and uphold the family, and that means a man and a woman. And they don't understand how sexuality, yes, is a choice, and what you like is a choice. And the have the bedroom conversation, it is about privacy. Like, hey, I don't give a shit what you do, what you like, because I like some weird stuff myself, and I'm not going to talk about that with nobody other than my partner that I will
Right.
allow to
Mhm.
have that piece of me. I don't need a badge of honor.
But
And I also think like that's a problem
um,
within the gay community as well. Like be who you are, love who you are. There's going to be people that don't like you. That is perfectly fine. And you
yeah,
guys, not you guys, but people have to learn to live with that dislike. That is okay. That's human nature. Um the
I'm a,
problem,
I want to say something in that with what you said earlier
yeah.
when you was talking about the display of like we was talking about buck breaking.
Yeah.
Do you think that the reason that they're more acceptable on woman is because that was never seen in front of our community during that period? Because if you think about it, it was
It was absolutely seen.
yeah.
I
When
was
I
about
say
to say we don't really know. It's just not put out there because
yeah, it's not
the
well.
way
That's what
they
I'm saying.
view
Like
men
it's
is
like
what it
so
is.
so
Women's
the
sex sells. That's the only reason why it's
Yeah.
acceptable. The women's sex sells.
I think I
That's the only
it
reason why it's
sells, but
acceptable.
then I also think that like they feel it's weird in our community because it's almost like a black like the man is not supposed to be sexually free, but sexually free, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
it's
no, you
like
already, your sexuality is free. Your
no, no,
experimental
no.
is not
When I say
free.
yeah,
Like
the experimental phrase is like experimental phases for men in our community is
is
non-existent
not.
for the most part. It's like no,
Yeah.
like you just supposed to straight boom, 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 you done, you go about your business. And it's like, no, there are a lot of fetishes that I think, especially as men, that we would like to experiment with, but we're so shy to. And I can say that in this day and age, the only thing I can say about the lack of respect in sex is that it has gotten people to experiment with things that they typically don't care anymore about what people got to say about. Like, so they do certain things and play, and it's online and it's there, and and they're open about it, and they're like, at this point I don't care. It's like it's what I like, and it's out there. And I think,
But that's
and
good.
yeah, it is. And I think within the community, the LGBT community, the reason why it doesn't blend well with the melanin community, because they're so open and don't care. And they don't care. And it's like, the thing about it, we
No.
live hold on, let me finish
I'm
my
gonna
point.
have to challenge you on that. I'm gonna have to
No,
challenge you on
no, I
that. Go
get,
ahead. I'll challenge you
I
once you
know, but let me
finish.
finish saying. So when I say that, the reason why I say that they don't fear, they don't fear and they do whatever, is because for us, we are about labels in our community. We truly are. I don't know if you agree with me on that, but I feel like we are really about labels. If we can't put a name to it, we question it. That's just always how
True.
we've been. And I feel like when it comes to them, I keep saying them, but I'm in there. But it's just
Those folks.
they it's the looks, it doesn't fit with the norm of what we're used to. We can't put a label on, we can't solidify it down to one thing, we can't make it make sense. And so we like, I just don't want to be a part of it, period. I don't want to have it. And what's so crazy is
Hmm.
they call it the, like, what they do is sex, I'm trying to get the word, sexually devious. And it's like, no, they just fucking like you be fucking. Like, it's nothing on the outside, it's just who they're doing versus who you doing. And it's like nobody steps in your room and say, hey, stop this hetero sex, so don't right.
No, okay. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I said I was going to challenge you, and I agree with everything that you said, but it's a little piece that you're missing when it comes to the LGBTQ community.
Hmm.
It's almost like a war on heterosexuality. Like, see me, see my label. You guys, like, not you guys, but that community has plenty of labels. Like, I'm here, I'm this. I think the problem with the melanated community accepting LGBTQ is that they try to compare their plight with our ongoing struggle. And that right there rubs people wrong. And it's the choice that's taken away.
I
Like,
think
we
I
like
think that's a
questions. We got, hold away, I
misconception.
got a good question. I got a good question.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna pose it to Cassie because me and you've been talking. Cassie,
Yes, ma'am.
gotcha. Remember when Genuine refused to kiss the trans woman and everybody said that was transphobic?
Hmm.
Was that transphobic, or is he refusing to kiss a man that has turned into a woman and he prefers woman?
I don't think it was transphobic because you like what you like. Transphobia comes in, the phobia is pretty much fear.
Fear of it.
Like you're scared of something. I don't think he's scared. He wasn't scared at all. It was just simply I don't like that. If I don't like Brussels sprouts, I don't want them on my plate. So it's not that I'm scared of it. I
I
just
like
don't like
Brussels
that.
sprouts.
But I
Right.
love them. I love them too. But I'm just saying, like, if you don't like something, you have the right not to like it. Now, when he wasn't disrespectful
Mm.
about it, so what's the problem?
No.
So I think
And
I
that,
understand where you're coming from as far as like, see me. If you don't like it, then you're hating. It's hate,
Yeah.
immediate hate, and that's not the case with a lot of things. It's like we
mhm.
have to get to a point where we can accept the fact that someone does not like what you
The
like.
respect.
There
That's
we
what you're
go.
trick.
Get
The
down to the
respect.
respect matter. Like we lose that because you are
But
rattled
it
because somebody don't like you.
but it's not just, in those two cases. Think about it. Insecure Molly and what's that dude name? The one she dated that was experimenting with the other guy she found out? Jared.
Yeah,
Um and
Now, that's
and
a whole different situation
I didn't
that I
like his
don't
shit for
think
that.
men, DL men, and now I didn't like how she handled that situation, but I don't think that men are aware that that literally affects our health. And I'm not talking about, oh my God, it's going to give me AIDS or anything like that. But literally, when a woman goes into a gynecologist on that like questionnaire, they ask if you have had sex with a man that has had sex with a man. That affects our health in a very different way
yeah.
that is not brought up in that conversation when it's just like, oh, listen, I would rather you be upfront. And the way she found out was really messed up. That was really messy. Like, tell me that you're bi, okay? And give me the choice. Like, hey, do I want to deal with this? Are you dealing with somebody right now?
Yeah.
it
But the
still
thing
it
about it
crumbles
is he
back into
wasn't.
the cheating shit.
But see,
No,
he
he
in that,
wasn't.
yeah, and that's there in that line. He wasn't. It was him. I experimented. I didn't like it, and then I went on about my business. Like we just never done it again, and I've never interacted with another
But
guy.
why are you experimenting with me while you're dealing with me? Like, why are you
It,
experimenting in that realm
you talking about
And
why
and
he
I
you're
was
don't
with
dealing
think
with
Molly?
me?
I don't think that
Yeah.
he
No,
did
he
it
wasn't.
in
He
the
didn't
same. It
experiment
was
while he was
wild
with
back.
Molly. It was a while back when he did
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah, it was a while back when he did it, and he just they talked. She said that she got down with a girl in her college while she was in class. So he was like, "Oh, I done that. I experimented with a guy," and she was like, "What would he do?" I let him go down on me, but I didn't like it, so I just never did it again. And she went
Oh,
all
that's
the way from
flat.
there. She went out. Yeah, that's how deep that went.
But
But
that's also Molly.
and that even goes to like when Tank said it. Tank was like, sometimes you gotta, suck one twice to know. And they was like, oh, Tank, and it's like, no, he. Some people are not that sure of their sexuality, and some people do have to experiment and have to be like, you know what, I sucked it the first time, but I'm indifferent. I can't say I liked it or I didn't like it, so let me do it again. Oh nope, don't like it. Never mind. Like I'm good, or I like it and I'm gonna keep doing it. Like it's a different. But I think we don't allow that freedom to do it, and so then is when we find that. I think this is the thing when it comes to respect of sex in our community. When we find that level of like freedom with sex, we don't care about having that freedom respectfully, if that makes sense. Like how you said,
No, true.
everybody's not gonna know the type of sex I want, but the partner I'm with. Like we don't do that. We be
Yeah.
like, I found out I like
Loud
candle
and
wax. Now
free.
everybody gonna know I like candle wax.
Loud about it.
Right. I find out I want people to R. Kelly pee on me, and I'm finna just go on tell everybody, hey, drip, 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 go on ahead. Like that's how they
But
do
why
it.
does everybody have to know? And maybe that's the modesty in me, because I'm just like, and I don't mind for my friends to know. Like, tell me some shit. I might be like, oh, candle wax. I never knew that. How now I get to explore that and maybe get to
You gotta
introduce
hold it up
that
like
into my
real
life, and I
high,
understand
like
in my
that.
circle.
No
I'm
scent.
not dealing.
Scented candles burn. Don't use no scented candles. You gotta use them. All
He
right, let me
said,
shut up.
"No, they burn."
And that's what I'm
But no, that's
saying.
what I'm saying. Like,
I feel like people lead with that
mhm.
because they have nothing else to offer. Like it's like people lose their personality. They don't have personality anymore. They don't know how to communicate at all. Because so you could forget a conversation. So it's like I pride myself on my sex. So that's all you're offering. That's what you lead
So
with. And it becomes disrespectful.
so do you think
Disrespect.
that topic, like that line of what you just said, do you think that it comes down to a level of self-respect?
It comes down to a level of self-awareness and self-respect. Like we
Mm,
have gotten to a point where you're disconnected from who you are, so you just feel like the most physical thing that you have, the most surface thing is who you are. You don't know that you
yeah.
have other attributes about yourself because you haven't tapped into them because you're too busy being surface. And it's like,
Okay, I got you on that one. So do you think it's because we're afraid of the mental health aspect within our community?
yeah, we don't want to attack that. Come on now, that's
Yeah,
that's too
no.
hard. That's too
That's
hard to
way too
actually say
ahead.
that I messed up. Like I really I did a shitty move. Like who wants to do that? Ain't nobody doing that. So the
No.
easy thing to do is find
Oh
something else
man.
to lead with. The other biggest thing with humans is sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's an
why not
escape
ride with it?
because, like B said, it's an escape, and you
Yeah,
use it, you
But
fall
once
off
it's over,
into
it's
it.
over.
it's
But the
over.
thing about it is, so like I was reading something on it, and they were saying how for everybody doesn't it's not over. Like they just go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and
When?
next thing
What?
How deep can
next
you
In that
go?
space for
when
me,
you
like
right
when I
here,
was in that sunken place, no.
wrapped
When I
up
was in
in
that
Man,
place and you got to listen, you leaving? It would be real awkward. Like, why are you still
yeah,
here? Like, what's going
right.
on? I need my space back. Now I'm centered. And I think, I don't know if many men know this, but for women, sometimes that's a hormonal thing for us. We need to
Yeah.
re-level those hormones. And once those level the hormones, we're thinking clear, goodbye. Please
Mm-hmm.
do not. Like, and it gets really, really awkward. we find ourselves in. That's how those situationships start.
Yes.
Like,
But then it's the same for us because that's just like sometimes
Man.
we get up and we leave because we're in fear of emotional attachment. And I used to say this all the time. The like main time of a man's life that he will become emotionally open is when he fall in love, especially a melanin man, because they don't teach us
absolutely.
emotion coming up. They don't teach us emotion coming up, so we
True.
don't know how
But then
to
you
feel
guys
it.
are guarded
Yeah,
because it's
but
used as a weapon against
that
you.
no that the reason why we're guarded is because we're not taught how to process it. So then it's like if you had a power that manifested with you, but you never use it, then you're not gonna ever use it because it's uncontrollable. So you don't because you don't know how to control it, and we live in a community where it's controlled. Most of the things within our community is us trying to gain control because we've never had it. Then you're in fear of anything that you can't control. So
But
then
how many generations are we gonna allow that to go on though?
that's a good question. But the
Like
thing
at some point we gotta keep it funky with ourselves and be like, hey, this ain't been working for the last 100 years.
baby,
Like
we
what we
expecting
doing?
5G capabilities on edge. You hear me?
Okay. Like what are we
We
doing here
got
for
the
real?
E in the top of the screen. It ain't moving worth nothing, but we wanted to have 5G speeds. Like
Okay.
that's how it is here.
No.
And I think like B said earlier, until we acknowledge the pain and stuff that we haven't overcome, then a lot of these situations that comes up, especially with sex, um will continue to surface in a negative way. Like we said on one episode last season when we talked about it, it was the conversation part of how our community doesn't have a good history with sex, and that's probably why it was frowned upon coming up, and how you get the stigmas, and if you do this and you wear this, they gonna want you, and they here for your body, yada yada yada, or you out here just letting any girl lay up with you, da da da. That's all they want is what's between your legs. They don't want nothing. Like they teach you that because at a time that's what it was. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And it's like we haven't overcome that mental trauma. So I think, when that mental aspect is put out there and we actually deal with it, then, you know.
Mm.
And
Okay.
it's gonna be some generations before that happens. Like, you gotta,
At
and
least.
not to say this, like, we gotta, until like the 20-year-olds are now like the 40, 50-year-olds is when
Yeah.
we're gonna actually start seeing that change actually
It's
happen.
going to
Because
be OnlyFans Plus,
Man, I'm sick of
Pornhub
it.
2.0,
listen,
X video
OnlyFans
101.
was funny to me because I'm like, you really like these people to pay? And it was on some like grudge stuff for some people to pay, like, and expose other people. And I'm just like, well, you got X videos for free. Like, you got
Okay.
amateur, you got all of that.
All
The
this
OnlyFans
porn out here for free.
for free. I don't care if it was damn who who is there? Who's my hall pass? Who'd I say? Even if it was damn Method Man. Oh, Big Crit. If
We're
it was
not going to
Big
talk.
Crit,
We're
he
not
had
going to talk.
OnlyFans, I might be weak.
Yeah, if it was
But
Method Man, I'm sorry. I might have to log in and give him a little bit of cash because
I don't know now
just
because
a
that
little
man,
bit.
that
He had to
man
be like
fine.
if you log in and find out
$3 to $5.
ain't no method to that man, you going to be very, very upset.
Yeah. And that's exactly why I wouldn't buy or pay for it like that OnlyFans, because I think people don't understand
Young
the
Bird show
like
him how to do
the
it though.
high you get from having a crush. Like, oh my
Right.
True.
God, I like them and da da
It's a
da da da.
mystery behind them.
Right.
Have you ever had a friend ruin a crush for you? Like, they hooked you
Yeah.
up and then it was just like, oh my God. Like, crushes
Hmm.
are so sacred. But Darren's looking at me like, Method Man.
Method Man. Yeah.
That man fine. I would
Now
have.
that he ain't aged,
No, 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 just
He
no.
aged so beautifully.
yeah.
He, oh my God, aged beautifully. As a
Yeah.
side note, that man definitely is amazing.
Mhm. Mm.
Um, Even though he married a porn star, his wife is a porn star.
Uh,
Mm.
I bet. Well, if
His
that's the
wife
case, then
was a porn star.
he really had to pull her then, because that means she didn't had. Let me shut up.
You know what?
Oh no, she did. She was one of them.
Yeah,
She
she
was.
did.
She was one of them.
Okay.
No slander
Cause,
if that's not
'cause
true. I mean, that might have been
for
a rumor. I don't know.
Twan is like a
But
big Usher fan, so he was like, he already said if Usher ever came, he had it. I said, you know what, go on do your thing. Ain't gonna even stop you. Go ahead.
Not get you
Don't do you, because I'm telling you, if Omari Hardwick or somebody, hey, you gonna have to get me on
Okay.
that, because I'm gonna have to ghost you for that one.
Golly. Come
okay,
on,
I kind
Because
of
I
want to
done
Melanin.
seen,
slide this in. I want to slide this in. I want to slide this in since we were talking about insecure. And
uh-huh.
it's now being noted that, all these black men celebrating all this black love, talking about black issues and overcoming and all that. In real life, they're all married to non-black women.
Woo.
All of them. Not a single one is married to a
We'll be back
melanated
after
woman
these
or a
messages.
person of color, like a Latino or an Asian. They're all married to white women. Like married, not
Baby,
dating.
that is a
We're talking married.
conversation
That is, we're gonna have to do another episode on
for
that one down the road, because it's
another
not gonna work on
episode.
this
Okay.
one.
Cause baby, I got so much to say
That
about
ain't gonna go on here.
Okay.
That'll be on the next season of. Just I'm
okay.
joking. It'll be
Straight.
later down the road. We're gonna have to hit that. We're gonna have to hit
We
that.
definitely gonna have to talk about it.
Yeah, B will have to come back for that one, because.
I've
I almost had.
definitely
Let me go pull my
enjoyed myself.
glass out. Let me pull my glass out.
Almost
But it,
my drink.
like, no, for real, because on that show they did touch bases on it's bro. It's a lot of things in respect on that show that was just like, especially with sex, like how he was with the bank chick, living with her, and then going hitting Issa, and then going back
Mhm.
and doing this thing, or how Issa,
Mhm.
did with Daniel, and that was a good proof of how it happens on both sides, because she literally just said, "Hey, you was an itch I need to scratch," and it was like, whoa, like, come on, are you serious? It
But
was
that
that.
she was also an itch. He wanted to scratch
Right,
too because he started liking her in the end. It goes
right.
both ways, and I think honesty
Now
comes with the
Molly,
respect of that person.
Molly, baby, Molly,
Mm.
Molly, Molly. Molly, I
You
can't
Least
are
stand.
favorite character, and she was so successful. I think she was my least
You
favorite
said, hold
character
on.
because
Oh, okay.
how
I
the
thought
hell
you
you gonna have
said
your
my
friend out
favorite
here
character.
least favorite character? Because how you gonna have your best friend out here couch surfing on random dude's sofa and you're this successful lawyer? Like,
Because the vase was
Mhm.
broken when I got there.
Uh-uh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
mm,
I don't know. That's just the dynamic. But I mean, I kind of get it. Maybe because they were both, I don't know. They were both growing on their own level, but they were still trying to be around each other. And I think that's
She
what
was
caused a
screwing
lot of
Dro, and at the
stuff.
time, she didn't want Issa to know she was screwing Dro. That's what it was.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
No stroke
That's a whole
Dro.
nother topic
Right.
Okay.
No stroke Dro.
because
That's what I
because
called it. But
friends
hey,
no, and he was so ugly. Like, ugh. Could y'all not have picked an uglier light skinned guy? Like, he
Oh,
didn't even fit the
guys.
mold.
I'm
He was
done.
just tall.
I wouldn't
He
say he
was
was
tall.
ugly. He just wasn't a head turner. Like, he wasn't that
He looked
that.
like a friend.
Eh, He
Yep.
was not attractive at all.
Like he would look like somebody you were
But
friends
I'm
on.
gonna just shut all that down. Daniel,
Oh yeah, that's bad.
baby.
I'm already in trouble with
I,
Method Man. We're not gonna speak.
after that first episode, when in that studio, Lord Jesus, I gotta get some water.
I'm done.
Listen, he's very handsome, but he's short. So I think that was like,
And that's even
eh,
more. That's
that's
even
enough
better.
for me.
That's even better. That's
He,
even
I
better,
don't know, and I don't even really rock with the shorties, but that man right there is
bruh.
a work of
He
art.
ain't even a bow-legged shorty. Like, nah.
That melanin just gets me every time.
Pop. Him and Purge was very sexy.
Yes,
Mm.
The first Purge. I'll
yes.
give him that. He was very much. And I mean,
hmm
back to like the respect thing.
Him in
It.
season 3, episode 1, within the first 3 minutes of the
I'm not.
episode was
Okay.
just I'm talking about when the nose. Let me shut up. Let me shut up. Let
The
me shut
nose
up.
flare and everything, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Is a
everything,
it's his nose.
everything. I
Like
was like,
weird
you know
features.
what?
It's the nose.
we're gonna respect it on here, y'all, because we giving this man just some props.
Okay.
Right. We're very much respecting
You
him.
look good,
You
okay?
look now. I
Yeah.
ain't gonna lie, because outside of him, my only other pick for me personally, in the world, Kelly Rowland. I'm sorry, I would have to.
Yeah, that lady fine.
I
Oh
had to
no.
tell. I had to tell Twan. I'd be like, "You gonna have to hold out for this. We might have a baby behind this. I gotta go."
That
Coffee
lady
and Sex
fine.
in the Morning. Listen, her song,
Man,
she's
that video,
always been, ooh,
Yes.
that
she's
lady is
she's
beautiful.
definitely underrated. One of the sexiest, like just
Mm-hmm.
everything from her. Oh, like this might be, I might be aging myself, but in Drop It Like It's Hot with Snoop Dogg, whatever kind
Mm-hmm.
of filter they had to make his skin look that black and that glossy and that like
Yes.
she does that without a filter. Like she's just
Mm-hmm.
so, oh God.
Oh yeah, she is beautiful. She is beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they always compare her to
Yeah.
you know who. But yeah, she beautiful.
She definitely is.
Most of those vocals is Kelly's anyway, so I don't care. Beyonce has no soul, she has talent. That's
Ooh,
a different thing. She
Ooh.
has technique and she listen as a someone who went to school for music,
oh,
has absolute technique and talent. Absolutely no ends, all of it. Her songs do not give you chills. It's
No.
the song words that gives you chills and the freaking engineering that goes behind it. But
okay. Hold on
acapella,
before
I'm
I
not
say the
impressed.
disclaimer. That is not our beliefs on the page, so don't come hate
I
us so hard.
I mean, stand all day, stand all
Don't come
day.
hate. Don't
I
look
love
here.
Beyonce.
Look here,
I love
Beehive.
her.
Don't be coming because y'all get stupid. Don't come
No,
on.
no,
Look,
no. I'm
I
not.
got some
Listen, I
smoke
don't
for
love
y'all.
her.
Please now. Y'all
Cause
Love
cause
her.
Eyes got the smoke in her purse and you don't want her to bring it out.
got the smoke for y'all
Oh no,
bees.
no disrespect.
Y'all gonna calm
No
down.
disrespect. I definitely am a Beyonce stan,
I'm gonna
Beehive
tell
and
you the
all,
truth.
but
I
I'm
just
not
think
going to be delusional.
she didn't have the like. I think that
How
she
we
would
get to
go down in
Beyonce?
history
Right. How
as
did we get here?
I don't know. We talked about sex. Let's get back on the topic. Look,
All right, all
but I'm
right.
gonna say this. I'm gonna say this before we do. I
I
just
respect
feel
her
like she
accolades.
I feel like she's the one of the best performers of our time. But I do think that when
Absolutely.
she lead a scene, we won't think about a song. We would think about performances, but I don't think we would go in our mind and be like, "You remember that song that came out?" I don't think we'll be doing that with that
Mm.
artist. But go back to our subject anyway. Respecting sex.
Respect,
So
self-respect in sex and not respecting yourselves or starting the conversation with sex. Again, I think we all have the same consistent like consensus.
Let's
yeah,
not do that.
It's a lack of self-respect, a lack of personality, and also that's the only thing that they hold value that they can
Hmm.
offer somebody. Or
definitely.
they're just not ready to be serious, and that's just the thing about it. And also, we can just talk about respect because I I don't want to bring work into it, but I had to literally turn this around and was like, "Can you read this?" Because I wasn't dealing with no kind of disrespect. Again, I'm gonna start with human decency until you show me you're not a human. I'm
Hmm.
put that on the damn bumper sticker.
Hmm? Put
Okay.
that on the website.
Listen, that's
Yeah.
what we should be.
And even
We
if
all
you
have the same
are,
consistency.
like, don't get us wrong, it's people out there that want, to get their rocks off all the time. Even if that's what you're doing, keep it funky. Like, just keep it all the way G with people with the communication. Make that known because now you damaging other people out here because they probably either wanting something and then now they feel like, okay, that's what everybody is wanting. Like everybody
That's
is out
only
here doing the
worse.
disrespect stuff. So don't go damaging other people because that's what you want and you don't want to keep a G. Like,
No,
you don't have to do that. You can actually tell people, and most people will actually still rock with you.
Right. And be like, you know what? So where you want to meet up?
Right. And just handle it like that. So you got communication there. You having healthy relationships because people actually know what's going on. That's the thing people
yeah,
don't know because you just trying to keep it to yourself, thinking you having the upper hand. Don't do that.
true.
Do not.
Like it's nothing more heartbreaking than having one of your friends believe that they're not worthy of a relationship because somebody
Exactly.
is just always after sex. And
Hmm.
to have that personally happen to me, like a friend come to me like, damn, am I not, this person? Why do they only want this one thing from me? Like,
Yeah.
I've never been on the date. I've never gotten a card. I've never gotten, and it's
Mhm.
deeper.
Well,
Like for
stop
those people, I'm
swiping
just
your
like, bruh.
nature's card. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
But
But
that
some
goes
people,
back to
but some,
Cassie.
but
Like the
some
nature
people do
wasn't
be,
there to begin with.
but some people do be swiping nature's credit card like it ain't got a limit or a APR. So I mean that when you keep when you that's what you give out and you decide to change something different, you gotta you gotta rebuild yourself and rebuild the image because that's what people are used to getting from you. It doesn't just stop because you say I don't want that anymore. I want this. It's like no,
Well, no,
that's not how it does it. You gotta
that
present it differently.
the scenario I brought up is basically the undercurrent of that's not the topic at hand. That's somebody spending time talking with you, getting to know you, going from there, and you have this idea that it's going to be something more, and it's never going to be something more. They had no
Mhm.
intentions of it ever being more than what it was,
Oh yeah.
even with them getting to know you.
Mhm.
Like, keep it up front.
But then
Like,
I
I'm just trying to smash on Thursday. What's up?
Thank you.
You got availability?
how comfortable are we like then I mean how comfortable are we with people just saying that up front because I think even if somebody said that up front it was like
Me,
We're very comfortable. Actually,
very.
people are more comfortable with somebody keeping it funky where they time ain't being wasted. It doesn't matter. Like we have got to get out of the mindset of trying to preserve feelings. We have to get back into the mindset of being honest with people because even
Hmm.
though somebody may be feeling hurt by your words, but the respect is always there. You lose respect for people when they ain't keeping it real with you. And
Yep.
that's where we don't want to go. Like, I don't respect you anymore because you couldn't even just be like, hey, that ain't even what I want. I wanted this. Like, we have to get back to that.
yeah
Yeah.
I
And I
just want
think men are scared about that because when they do that and this person actually wanted more, they're gonna be like, yeah, no. But in the
Mhm.
right scenario, that might work out for you. And instead of being like, yeah, I would rather want that person to want what I want, they're like, nah, she's gonna say no if I don't, try to get to know her before I send her a dick pic. Like,
Yeah, people just be trying to have the upper hand.
I
That's
will
really what it
bruh,
is.
I don't know why this song from Family Guy stuck in my head when Stewie was like, he was singing that song, I want to have intercourse with you. I don't know why that
with
song is
you,
in my head. The moment y'all right,
TikTok.
relations. Like
I wanna have intercourse with you
oh,
tonight.
hey, intercourse with you, relations,
Relations.
intercourse. Yeah, like come on, that's what it thought in my mind. He said, it. I mean, I agree. Like, I feel like there should be some transparency to it, especially if you're approaching. Like, if that's what you want, just say what you want, but you ain't got to say it with a pick. I can say that much. Like, if you
No,
come
you
to it,
don't.
like, I think that's the thing. Some of y'all would have actually got it if you just had a held back the pick.
Thank you. Y'all
But
mess it up.
I
Those are the worst
no,
pictures.
it's worse because some people send videos, so it's even worse than that.
Man.
I would prefer a video, but that's
No,
me and my kink talking there. I'm like, but I don't want a video
if
after I've only
you
been talking to you for a week. Like, nah.
I'ma
Let
if
me
tell
you
you
ask
right
for it.
doing
now. If
something
you
that
send
look
me
like you
that,
got bamboo, you stroking bamboo in your
What you gonna do
video,
with it, Cassie?
if you send it to me, best believe
it's going
all
on
my people gonna
OnlyFans
see
for
it.
19.99.
No, all my people gonna see it. I'm showing my friends. So if you're sitting there and I didn't ask for it and I don't even really know you like that and you sit there, my friends about to view and rate. So
And if
you
you
might
send it
not
to
want
me, I'm gonna put it on OnlyFans to make me some money because I need some money, and I'm
and
Or
gonna
put
like
it on
call.
it's a
Amazon
law.
X videos. That
Yep,
is
X
Okay.
videos, all
definitely.
of it.
It's a law out that unsolicited dick pics and unsolicited
Mm-mm.
sex pics, all that stuff
I'm
is
gonna put
against the
your I'm gonna
law.
put your face and I'm gonna put that photo on OnlyFans, and I'm finna make money off you.
Yikes.
And
You don't put
cause
the whole face out there?
yeah, because I'll tell you why. Because once it came through my phone, it became my property. So I'm finna take that mug and upload it and put it right where the hell it's supposed
Them
where I
people
want it to
gonna
Okay,
go.
so
ask for
I'm
some
glad that you
money.
said that. Once it was sent to my phone, it became my property. Let's say healthy relationship, y'all
Mhm,
together, y'all
mhm.
got all these pics or whatever, but y'all broke up and they decided to send your news to somewhere else. Like, Is that a violation, or do you consider it their property? Do you still expect them
I
to
mean,
have it?
it's a violation to you, but it is theirs, and you sent it to them, and it would be disrespectful, yeah. But most of the time, they ain't got no respect for you at that point, so they did what they wanted to do.
Yeah, I it is a. I don't think that's right. Like if somebody's
I
stealing
don't think
your
it's right.
confidence,
Yeah, I don't think it's
but
right.
you know, people do grimy things, and you can probably. I mean, if it look good and that shit, I wouldn't even be mad.
Right.
Like,
I'll be like, post it up, give me my money, roll it, run it.
Listen,
yo,
I ain't got enough money to wipe it from Google. Like, so just don't play with me like that.
Mm-mm. I
I
ain't
don't want to be
wiping.
no politician, but just don't play with me like that
Put me
right?
at
on.
all.
Let me see what the comments say.
Because
Because then,
we get into an era now. Like people don't really they care, but they don't really care. Like videos and stuff like that of yourself, somebody that said like it'll be a little thing for a little, but then it just like no one really cares. So it doesn't really stick to you like that. So I
but it
mean,
always comes back.
it do. Like it
It come
depends on
back.
what you're trying to do with your life though. Like
Right.
But you,
so
that's the thing. Like you always gonna know, damn, that's out there.
Right. Because
I
if you
can't
try to
really
go be
have
a
a social
pastor,
media presence or go like that because people will be like, didn't you do such and such and such? Now
mhm.
going into today's world, that's where you make a lot of money. That's
Yeah,
where
you
you
do.
can build a lot of networks. You gotta have that there, and to know that you have something out there like that is really like just messed up. Just because
mm-mm.
somebody wanted to be was calling, like, yeah, you gotta own it, but
Yeah, you got to own
say
what I
five
feel
years
like
down the
once you
line.
own it,
That's the thing
it
about once you
fades
own it, you
away.
fine. I think the problem with a lot of people is they just don't own. They're just like, you know what?
Yeah,
I didn't want to go there, but let's go there. Hitman Dollar.
yeah. That
When that
man.
stuff
Oh,
got
Yeah.
released, like you can't sit here and say you shared it, you knew the risk of it, you knew it was all out there, you knew what was gonna happen. Like
Yeah.
to me personally, it didn't sound like somebody scream. It sounded like y'all screen record and drop it. That's just me personally though, because we do live in a day and age where people try to act and pretend like somebody else released their stuff when in reality
right.
they put it out there.
They be
AKA Ray
leaking it.
J. Ray J.
Nobody did it better
Um,
than Mimi Foster.
no, Ray J. When they dropped that one.
Yeah, Ray
And
J and
Ray J
Pam.
looked at the camera the whole time, and in the beginning of the video said, "When y'all at home jacking it, is go hard, little home." So who was you talking to if you didn't think that this was gonna get out? Like you
That was
literally
like the
said that in
90s.
the beginning of the video, and then gonna act like you didn't say this was gonna get out, or you could be R. Kelly who decided he wasn't gonna shave his face or head for 3 weeks, and then go out here and start doing what he do. Like it's like y'all release this stuff like y'all and be, I didn't do that. That wasn't me. No, it was you.
Listen,
Ki- I'm
nobody
like,
did it better than Mimi Fox. She was like, that sex tape, I'm getting a deal. We doing this.
He
Yeah, we
blew
did a
up off
sex tape.
that.
I ain't gonna lie, somebody did, but he ain't big like that. But it was what his name, Sam Jones the third. Like he was a guy for Smallville. He did it, but and I would say
Oh,
his was the only one I was impressed with. Like as far as the whole entire video, I was like, he did a whole documentary of his weekend and of hanging out with this Playboy Bunny. He went showed a video of them playing around in the car, and then he banged the crap out of her and went on about his business. I mean, he went to jail the year after that, but still he it was a great like lineup. It looked like one of them real put together like situations. It was no shower rides or laying on your back with this woman that don't want to move worth nothing.
Yeah,
Type
that
videos.
thing was lame.
Because Ray J video could have had look if he wasn't all looking in the camera the whole entire time.
hey, he said, you going to see me, okay?
See
And I'm going to
nothing.
make eye contact.
And that was the weird part because you looking in your room like, did he see me? He watching? Okay.
It's nothing weirder than that porn star that likes to talk, that doesn't shut up. I don't know his name, but
Oh,
he
Prince
says the
Joshua. I'm sorry. Damn, how am
wildest
I?
stuff.
I'm giving myself off. Let me be quiet.
Huh?
I said I'm giving
Oh,
myself
Wesley
up.
Pipes is dead. That sucks.
Oh, he dead? I'm sorry. No, it's
Yeah.
not. This
Oh
not the show
man.
for
Sorry,
that.
rest in
This
peace.
not rest in peace. When he died, he was so old when
I
he
don't know.
first
Darren
came
just told
out.
me he did. I didn't know the bull name.
I don't know,
Oh
y'all.
man.
This. I thought you was talking about Prince Joshua because he does all that hollering. I remember I couldn't tell if it
No,
was the
not
woman.
Holland. I'm talking about he be saying the wildest stuff. Like, yeah, you gonna suck on my toes, girl.
Oh
You
yeah, that's
like
him.
he
Damn, that's so sad.
Mm.
Yeah, that's it.
It is.
Yeah.
You sure he dead?
So
Not too
we
sure.
might have to Google it. That
I
might
am
be a
Googling.
rumor.
That's why I'm like, he ain't dead in here.
Tomato, tomato,
Oh, he did.
boo.
He died last year in
Oh
June.
damn.
Mm.
He died in
Not
June.
in June.
They ain't
Dang.
say
I
how he
think I
died. You know
I,
they
I
don't get that
stand
type of
on
hair,
it.
girl.
I stand on everything we talked about because we had some really good points from every different
Yeah.
angle.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
it's truly like I think it boils down to, as far as your question, really just human decency and self-respect, where respect derives from when you're dealing with other people and when you're dealing in the sexual like manner. Um, yeah, I think it's saying even with us like going back to the origins of it, but seriously, we're not gonna see that real silent veil lift and the healing really start until the 20-year-olds that's 20 right now, getting their 40s and 50s. They might be a little dumb, and I'm gonna pray for them. Um, that they're able to, begin like really healing from it. For us, like we're starting to heal and we're in our 30s and 40s from it. But the things that we don't know that we need to heal from is going to be really hard for us to move that forward. And I think the younger generation are being a lot more self aware, dangerously self aware, where it's, when I say dangerous, not dangerous and like hurt themselves, but dangerous is if you're trying to heal something mentally or physically or spiritually too fast, it can break. And then that's psychosis. You won't even be able to go into your healing because now you got to heal from trying to heal too fast. And I think we want it so quickly that
Mhm.
that may be like on the side of it. But as we start having these conversations more and more about teaching our kids the right things instead of what we know, but the things that we would actually want for ourselves. And that's so crazy. Like I know if I have a daughter, I'm gonna teach her she's sacred, and I'm gonna really have to fight with myself to be like, even if I'm saying in a playful manner, I know I'm gonna have a beautiful child, man or woman. But don't be fast, girl. These boys only want one thing. It may be right, but I'm gonna have to fight with myself to not do those things because I understand how traumatic it is instead of just having those
Mhm.
conversations.
Mhm.
And I think we all need to do our part.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Cassie, you
have
want to
to
leave from anything?
say what?
I say, well, I was telling you to come in. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like we would just have to step back and actually look at, because a lot of times we'll say, I want somebody to treat me like treat myself or I treat them and all this other good jazz. Reality is I don't really think we're quite ready for that because a lot of times we don't really know what we want. I think we need to really dig deeper into who we are and what we have to offer so we can know how to present ourselves and how we need to be treated. Like we literally was just talking about the respect and sex, and it's like a lot of times we don't respect sex, we don't have the boundary with that, so it's like we don't really know exactly are. So I feel like as melanin individuals, just like you said, it's gonna take some generations to do it, but I think we can actually start that. Like now we should have been started it, like actually figuring out who we are, our powers, because we're very powerful, and
Mhm.
what we have to offer as far as presenting ourselves in a manner that, hey, I'm not just a sexualized creature, because we have been fetishized for years. And we trigger that, well, not trigger, we trickle it down into other aspects of our lives. So we have to pull away from that and see the other things that we had to offer. Like we are real dope people. Like melanin people are very
Mhm.
dope. So we have to really pull that out and be comfortable in that because it can be very uncomfortable getting to know who you are. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, we got it though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like we basically need to learn that respect start with self. before you can respect anything on this planet and anybody else, you have to respect yourself first.
Mhm.
And be, I'm not saying don't like what you like, be sexually free, love, do you enjoy everything, about yourself, but also know that there's limitations to everything. There should be some limits to certain things just because in the end, sometimes too much freedom can lead to destruction. We all seen it in
Hmm.
history. So, I would say just with that respect on sex, have that self love and that self connection enough to protect you in all sides, not just physical, mental, and emotional, but even sexual and physically. Do you, and just be your best sexual self without giving it to everybody at a
Just
whim
do
and at the
you.
drop of a hat. Like, do you, but I do understand not everybody is meant to sign up for your services. Sometimes the service ain't supposed to come out free. It ain't supposed to to
Mhm.
to be a discounted service. When it comes to sex and your body and loving, that should never be a discounted service. Don't give it
Mhm.
away like it's a discounted service because it shouldn't come with coupons and it shouldn't come with freebies. It should
Okay.
be somebody actually working to enjoy the service that's at hand because a lot of times we let people use our service that don't ever pay
Why?
the bill. So
Mhm.
with that being said, those are some great topics and talking points, and I enjoyed the episode. And hopefully, B will come back and be with us
I had a
again.
great time.
Yes.
So we're
I'm
gonna hit it out.
lit.
Right, we're gonna hit it out. Apparently, we'll be talking about interracial relationships later down the road. So, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of other topics coming at hand, so make sure you guys have stayed in and tuned in to us. And if you haven't taken the time to go on the platforms and listen to our previous episodes, we are our fourth episode in on season two. The first episode was BS versus the truth, an open and closed case. We had episode two, let's talk sexuality, freedom of the fear of labels, and then we had the ripple effect. Evaluate your circle was the last episode. And today you're dealing with respect. Is it based on sex and human decency? We're trying to do a big tie back throughout the season, and you'll hear different voices and different personalities. They're going to come in and give talking points for us. So make sure you are tuned in. The only way you will know is if you are liking, sharing, and subscribing every single
Yes.
time. So make sure that we are doing that. Make sure we are going to the website, themelaninplaybook.com. It is up, live, and ready. And like I say, come back and join us every Tuesday. I know we were doing Tuesdays and Thursdays, but we limited down to Tuesday to give you guys a lot of topics and make room for more guests to come on the show. So make sure you are tuning in every Tuesday at midnight. The episode drops. Make sure you are in there. With
The
that being
Melanin
said,
Playbook
the
podcast.
Melanin
Woo
Playbook.
woo.
Yes. We will
Yes.
holler at you guys. See you guys later.
Later.
Night.